Hello to all who find this general pick a jar collective reading. My name is Seven, and today we're going to be focusing on this beautiful full moon in Leo lunar cycle and how we're able to unite and utilize the very zany, altruistic, and methodical approach of Aquarius with the very sociable and courageous, and also I would like to say loud and proud nature of Leo, and see how we are going to combine the imperative nature of internal and external connection. I say that because Aquarius, although they are humanitarians at heart, they are very much a sign that prefers to work behind the scenes. Leo is much more physically present and sociable in their endeavors in community. And I feel that considering they are sister signs, they both see the necessity in community, but the way in which they maneuver within is a bit different. But ultimately they have the same goal, which is to encourage not just themselves but the people around them to be their most authentic form of self. And I think that with this sun moon opposition, and with Mercury currently being in Aquarius as well as Jupiter and Saturn, we're all being really pushed to think outside the box, just as the title says, and find new, or even just not even new, but simply different approaches towards recurring or new scenarios or situations. I also think that considering we have a lot of fixed energy in the air at the moment, not only do we have the Aquarius and Leo sun moon opposition, but we also have Mars and Uranus in Taurus at the moment. I definitely see a bit of a rigidness in our standards and our new ways of living. I think that with all of the changes that we are all currently planning and making for ourselves, a lot of movement and action propelling forward, I think that we're learning to be very uncompromising in our boundaries and standards and identity overall. And if we haven't reached that point, then people are currently finding a lot of reinforcement for the person they are working towards becoming, for better or for worse, if I'm honest, considering that we still are in Aquarius season and there is this spirit of rebellion in the air. And I'm taking a very deep breath, if I'm honest. So I think the key theme here is innovation. Aquarius always sees the necessity in innovation. There's always a need and push for new ideas and ways of thinking and simply being. And Leo, like all fire signs, has the attitude of I'll try anything once. So I think that it pairs well together. And it's simply about understanding how the internal and external circumstance we are all in currently, how are we able to ensure that their reflections are as clear and as balanced as possible? And do we feel as if there is any necessary changes or adjustments that need to be made in order for us to continue fulfilling our sense of identity and overall being on this plane? A lot of the questions and releases that I feel are arising are primarily internal. I think that a lot of people are releasing outdated concepts of themselves and the people around them, really, like their character and their integrity. I don't feel that it's anything that has to do with materialism, but I feel that we're utilizing the chance to reflect on the internal now to build a better world. So With that being said, I would like to direct your attention to the beautiful options that we have today for our jars. We have the white willow bark herb, the lemon verbena herb, and the basil herb. And under that, we have the corresponding symbols. We have the infinity symbol, the spiral, and the eye. So feel free to take a moment to pause here if you need to, or take a few more seconds to simply reflect and find which group is currently calling to you the most and you feel is the most representative of your current cycle or stage within your cycle of growth. And take a moment to just be still, if anything, and don't second guess your instinct or choice. I feel with the Leo energy that we are all in at the moment, it's asking for us to go with that gut instinct. So whatever you feel is the answer, that is the answer. don't even second guess not just yourself but your general like choices and the energy around you. I feel that we're being called to make better choices, so we don't feel as if we have to second guess ourselves or the choices that we make anymore. Don't mean to channel before we start the reading, but that's just a vibe that I'm picking up on. So feel free to take a moment here to pause and reflect and take your time in doing so, and I'll get started on your readings. Hello to all of you who have chosen the Infinity Collective and the white willow bark jar as your corresponding herb for today's messages. So let's go ahead and get into this little old full moon in Leo that we got going on. I definitely had a bit of a lengthy intro today, I'm not gonna lie. I think that it's the Leo igniting the Aries stellium in my chart, making me a little bit of a chatty Cathy, if I'm honest, and I'm really feeling it though, to be real. I think that all of the psychic downloads and general channeling that I've been receiving has been a lot, for one. And two, it has been so like instantaneous and random and unprecedented, if I'm real. I definitely have been, oh, hello, we haven't even gotten started. We have the fire energy. Okay, asking you shall receive. We're gonna leave that right there. I definitely think that, okay, let's hold on, mama. I didn't even ask what we're doing yet. I'm just trying to shuffle her all out. I definitely think that there's a lot to go over, which is definitely why there's so many messages and fucking things I have to say, if I'm real. Normally I like to keep my channeling and general intros short and sweet and to the point, but I think that I haven't really been able to do that. I've been struggling with being concise lately, if I'm honest. With the Mercury retrograde that's coming up as well, I definitely think that's also kind of playing into it and being a bit of a factor in our communicative styles with ourselves and with other people. I think Aquarius is asking for inner and external dialogue to be at the forefront of this. You know, people communicating authentically and openly and honestly about their past, present, and future experience and what they deserve, what they truly deserve for themselves and their growth. So, oh yeah, we have the World card here, really tapping into Capricorn and just the general earth energy of building and finding creative solutions to problems, especially with the King of Wands here. The King of Wands is very much a big picture person. He isn't a half glass full, half glass empty kind of guy. He's more so someone that's like, I don't really care, just pour the cup. I'm trying to have a good time. Like, if my glass isn't full, then we have a problem. So I think that's very much the ideology that you're going into this full moon with, my beautiful Infinity Collective. I think that you're being pushed, yes, exactly. You're examining the opportunities, people, and places that are present themselves to you. And if you don't see that glass of fulfillment completely full when you are engaging with them or engaging with opportunity or potential, then I feel like that is the excess that you are currently trimming out of your life. But of course, let's get some more cards to better get an idea of what we got going on here. So, for my Infinity Collective, what we got going on, Spirit? What can they expect to think outside of the box for and release with this full moon in Leo transition? What can the Infinity Collective... Oof, more fire. We got the Knave of Wands here. Let's keep going. Yeah, so I definitely see like a lot of people, places, and just general things coming at you during this full moon cycle. I think that a lot of people are going to be communicating or reaching out to you. Oh, yes, exactly, with the Page of Cups. And I think that as they do, you're going to be examining their authenticity throughout the process. Oh, yeah, especially the Ten of Wands literally just flew out. So it's about releasing burden, but also delegating priorities and responsibility accordingly. So I definitely feel that if you aren't able to really build something that is, I don't want to say, well, I will say substantial. If you can't build something substantial or simply authentic, I'm really feeling something that is very akin to who you are and is a very personal representation of your experience and growth. I think that a lot of you are going to be engaging in some sort of project, if I'm honest, or you're looking to finalize it. You have the idea there and it's concrete and it's solid and you think it's a fantastic idea, and now it's just about gathering the attitude, people, and resources accordingly so you're able to best delegate your time and energy towards its execution. So I think that being able to be brutally honest with yourself and your current capacity is very important. Not just for you to get this idea or project or business venture, whatever it is. I think that it's important for you to just be very real about the standards that you have built for yourself and if they are outdated or not. And if you need help, it's about asking accordingly and also reaching out to the right people and finding, yes, justice, finding balance, finding a new way in which you are able to have a sense of reciprocation and harmony with the people and environment around you. Justice is ruled by Libra. Libra is another air sign, so it's very much aligned with that sociable, outgoing nature of Leo, and also the altruistic nature of Aquarius, because Libra is, considering that they are ruled by the scale, they have a very innate sense of justice, and they prioritize fairness and delegation with the people around them. At times, Libras can be a bit indecisive, but I feel that's because they are simply absorbing too much information around them. So I think that not taking everyone's word or presence with the full weight or expectation that you have built of them is going to be important. I feel like you're kind of just rebelling against yourself, if anything, and the set of standards that you have. But I feel that this is necessary for you. Like, this is your sense of retribution and justice. It's just tipping the scales so you can finally balance them out and seeing what exactly it is that you need to add or remove accordingly so you're able to achieve that equilibrium. But I feel this equilibrium is primarily some sort of ambition or passion. It also could be an opportunity that at first seemed too overwhelming, but now that it's presented itself again, or it's somehow messaged you in a way to kind of come back to it and come full circle and complete it and finally get your hands on it, so to speak. I think that is the main goal here. Yes, especially with judgment. I feel like there's a higher sense of calling for you to complete this particular mission or purpose that you are embarking on. If it isn't a tangible project or idea, I definitely think that this can also be about your sense of fulfillment, and also being able to just generally find a new means of calibrating yourself or recalibrating yourself whenever necessary. Kind of playing around a little bit with your sense of inner fulfillment. And I say that because we have fire and water over here. And they're both pages. I said knights earlier, excuse me. This is the page of wands, and then we have the page of cups over here. So there's this blossoming sense of love and expression for you, but with the King of Wands being at the heart of the reading, I don't think that this is like something that is completely new. I think that this is you like finally accepting like all parts of you and utilizing it to your advantage and making something of it that you are proud of. I think you feeling the most proud of what you do is important to you. And especially with the Judgment card here being your bottom deck energy, I definitely feel that this is something that you are being called to do for a reason. And even if it didn't work out in the past, you're being called to basically fix that at this current moment and do it again. But you're going to achieve the general result and sense of happiness that you were gunning for the first time around. It's a change, but it's a change that I feel like a lot of you were kind of anticipating. I feel like you knew that you were going to come back to this realization or passion or pursuit already, but this is just reaffirming that this is the right time for you to do it. But I think that in order for you to think outside the box, it's necessary for you to take into account the parts of yourself that you don't necessarily instinctively go to when it comes down to your everyday, like kind of digging a little deeper into your emotional recesses within your passions, and find out just why exactly you love or admire this particular pursuit or part of yourself, and how are you able to do it justice, so to speak, and allow it to exist not only as a part of yourself, but also as its own entity, and allowing it to grow and flourish accordingly. So with the two pages here, that's why I definitely see this sense of blossoming in expression, and it's just it's a bit of an experimental stage, if anything, but a very fulfilling one at that. Ooh, we got the Seven of Swords here. Yeah, so like I was saying earlier, if you feel like there are some people that just aren't going to give you what you need right now, especially if you are digging a little bit deeper into your inner child, if you feel as if there are people that just simply won't be there for you in the way that you are needing, like if they're not loving you the way that you need to be loved right now, then this is the time to not necessarily completely release them. Like you don't have to cut anyone out unless they are actively degrading or belittling you throughout this process or have in the past. I think that it's just about ensuring that you are simply getting everything that you need right now, and gaining a different perspective as well. In the traditional Rider-Waite, you see the man with a bunch of swords in his hands, and he's just sneaking away. So I think that some of you are simply taking what you need from the people and opportunities around you, and you're utilizing that. I'm getting a lot of throat chakra hiccups today. I think it's also because we're having that Mercury retrograde coming up soon. So excuse me if I stumble a little bit on my words, but I also have my Mercury in Aries, so my mouth goes a lot faster than my mind does at times, if I'm very honest. So mediating your mental space is important at the moment, and what the factors that contribute to it as well. And if you feel as if you are currently taking more than you can give, it's also about calibrating and balancing that out accordingly, so the people around you don't feel as if they are being used, so to speak, which I definitely don't think is the case for your group at all. I don't think that you're out to what's the word I'm looking for? You're out there trying to intentionally take advantage of the people around you. But I feel like because you're even though your ideas are big, I feel like you're going to be reflecting inwards for a lot of it, and building accordingly. So you probably won't have too much time to delegate with the people around you fairly, or at least. But when I say fairly, I don't mean that in the way where you are taking advantage of anyone, but fairly in a way where you're able to spread yourself out to your loved ones and friends, and just spend like quality time with them, if anything. I think maybe having conversations about that, and having conversations about everything that's currently on your plate, or everything that you're currently working towards and thinking about, is important. So people don't feel left out, for one, and two, you're also able to get a fresh perspective on just where you stand throughout this exploration, and you're able to also kind of map your way around accordingly, and find ways to delegate your energy primarily, in a way that's helpful not just to yourself but also to the people around you. And if there is anyone that is simply not open to your sense of exploration, then this is someone that you just need to I don't want to say cut out, but I will say what's the word I'm looking for? Minimize. There we go. Someone you should minimize your interactions with, simply because they're just not there for you right now. I had the last time I did a reading, I saw that some people were thinking about the company that they keep. I don't remember which group it was for. This could also be some of you coming back. I think you're getting further confirmation of who's genuinely there for you and sees you for all that you are. I think that's a very big general theme going on at the moment, if I'm honest. But with the Seven of Swords here under the Page of Wands, I definitely think that it's just about seeing how you're able to explore the world around you. And with the Page of Cups there, it's like also in a way that's mindful of the world that you are exploring. Doesn't even have to be people, but also your environment, just ensuring that whatever it is that you're engaging in. Yeah, speaking of environment, we have Nine of Pentacles. Whatever it is that you're building for yourself, it's inclusive of the world around it, so that way you aren't leaving out or unintentionally, what's the word I'm looking for, exploiting the people around you, which I know is a bit of a harsh word, but I feel that because we just live in a very money hungry, classist society, it's very easy for the oppressed to become the oppressor in the pursuit of monetary gain and later abundance and wealth. So I think that you ensuring that this project that you're engaged in, you're doing it for all the right reasons, is very important to you, and that you're able to give back to the people and places that have given you this opportunity in the first place, and doing it with justice and doing it accordingly, and ensuring that there is equity in this situation, and that people don't feel as if they're being left out, or they're not being acknowledged and respected. This may be a pursuit where you're collaborating with others, but you're someone that's a bit more customary to doing things on your own. Especially with the King of Wands and Saturn, or the World card being at the heart of your reading. I definitely feel that this is you going outside of your boxes by engaging with the people around you and the environment around you and seeing how all of it overlaps. So you can find a new way to explore yourself throughout the deepening of your power source and your acclamation of it. I say that also because with the Nine of Pentacles here under the Page of Cups, the Page of Cups normally is an opportunity to be open emotionally and to have a conversation about the current state of affairs between two people or the feelings that exist within that dynamicism. And with the Nine of Pentacles under it serving as a clarifier, I definitely think that it's calling for you to see how you're able to let people in that beautiful garden of yours. In the traditional Rider-Waite, the Nine of Pentacles, you see this woman with this beautiful, gorgeous silk robe, just like chilling with a little bird on her shoulder. Like, just being a grounded yet powerful being that is truly connected to the world around them. And I think that's what you are doing. You are deepening your connection to the people in the world around you, and you're seeing how you can use that to better your circumstances. So let's get this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. She's coming out. Oh, we have the Star card here now, clarifying for the Ten of Wands. So even if things do feel a little bit overwhelming, or you feel as if there isn't enough of you to go around, so to speak, when it comes down to delegating your time accordingly, I definitely think that there is hope. And I think the hope lies in you being very open and honest with the people around you about how you're feeling and what it is that you're doing, and allowing that sense of optimism to build from the support that surrounds you. Because I think there is so much support around you, and I feel like you probably don't see that, or you're unsure if it exists, or you're unsure of just how much people are truly willing to support you. But I think that there's more love around you than you realize. Not to say that with the Seven of Swords business over here that there isn't any sort of hesitance, because with the Seven of Swords, people always hold their breath when they see that card. When I see it, I'm like, why are you here? I always have to think, but it's a sword card, so who's surprised? But I think that you're just thinking a lot deeper about your circumstance and your current state of being. This is, you know what? I'm gonna take this card because I keep seeing it. I'm gonna take both of these, because this is the second time that I saw it just flip out for no reason. So I'm going to take that. Yes, your bottom deck energy is the Six of Swords. So there is definitely a necessary transition that is ongoing. You are leaving outdated people and places behind for sure. But I think it's for you to pursue a higher calling and just sense of fulfillment overall. I don't remember my Roman numeral, so I'm just looking to see real quick what we got. It's the Sun. Haha. Speaking of Leo, she has arrived. So the card that popped out that went under Justice is the Page of Pentacles. So we have a lot of pages in here. I definitely see you opening a lot of doors, and that started with you just simply realizing who the fuck you are and what you're capable of, and it's just really exploring that potential. And in you exploring that potential, you are seeing how it levels up with the people and places around you, and if they are on a similar wavelength to you. With the Page of Pentacles here under Justice, I definitely see balance is going to help you unlock more opportunities and people, if anything, and also environments. Like if you're really like bent on moving somewhere or going to a new school or engaging in a new business, or even if you're just like a creative person, you just want to experiment and find different means of expressing yourself. I think this is a wonderful time to do that because you have a much more grounded understanding of your creativity and how it manifests in this realm. With the Sun card here, there is definitely a lot of happiness present. The Hangman is also your bottom deck energy for this. So I see that there is sacrifice in happiness. I don't think that you're necessarily sacrificing your happiness at all, but I feel that in order for you to be happy, you must be willing to sacrifice stagnant energy or energy that is simply too overbearing and doesn't allow you to truly be and at times think. I'm hearing for some of you. Like even if there's someone that you love, but they're just simply a little bit too much for you right now, just being open with them. Be like, hey man, listen, I love you, but I got a lot of shit going on right now, and I need some time to process it and work accordingly. I think that a lot of people are going to be so much more supportive of that than you realize, and also there is a heightened sense of compassion within the people around you. So be open. I feel like some people are even going to be willing to help you as you engage with them. So don't disengage, even if that is your reflex, especially when you are on grind mode. Don't feel as if that has to be your default setting whenever you are embarking on a new path or passion. Allow people in this time around. I think you're going to see a lot more success arise from that than you simply doing it all alone like you're used to. Yeah, the spider card came on. This was at the bottom of the deck originally. This is my Halloween oracle. I'm also going to put all of the cards in the description down below, so we all have a rounded understanding of who she is and how she got here. So under the spider we have community and web weaving. Exactly, community is very important for you right now, my Infinity Collective, and being honest with that is important. Being honest with your community or the type of community that you want for yourself is very important. So you are able to continue to build accordingly and really express yourself and express your experience and being for exactly what it is. Yes, we have strength, which is a skeleton, which makes me think of the major arcana card of strength. But this is about the fortitude that already exists within you, my Infinity Collective. We are really all just flesh and bones at the end of the day, and I think that you realizing just how much your body does for you on a day-to-day basis to not just protect you, but also work with you and accept you and allow you to move forward time and time again, and just being very reflective of the resilience that you have, and releasing any sense of doubt towards yourself or the people around you. And if you feel that there's a sense of doubt, don't attack it, but question it. And ask yourself why you're being called to feel that way. And examine if it's a fear or something that is sincerely worth examining. Yeah, with protection here, for sure. With the jack-o'-lantern, I definitely feel that you using your internal light and intuition to guide you forward and kind of guide you through the dark, so to speak, is important, and utilizing that as means to protect yourself and reminding yourself that at the end of the day your intuition is always here to support you, and that your fear has the intention of protecting you, but in reality it inhibits you from being able to acclaim a new path, a new way of thinking and living. So examine what current boundaries exist within you, and release and build more or less accordingly. With that there, and then your bottom deck energy is, yes, the owl, wise seeing, wise action. Exactly. Wisdom is your key here. That sense of intuition, that sense of inner light, that is wisdom. It is knowledge. It is information that you have gained from engaging with this world and the people in it, and not feeling as if, even if you feel a bit inexperienced with the pages here, you are still that King of Wands energy at heart. So you know what you're doing. Just allow yourself to be playful and approach something new with a sense of curiosity as opposed to a sense of judgment, especially if you don't get it right the first time around. If you don't get it right the first time around, remember that it's something new. You know, and it's not something that you are meant to perfect or master overnight. It is something that you are meant to immerse yourself in and understand. So when you are working with it, you are able to understand yourself in the process. So let's get one more oracle card for you guys to wrap up your messages. All right, so can I get an oracle card, please, for my beautiful Infinity Collective for their full moon in Leo? What advice can you give them so they can think outside the box and release anything that does not allow them to move forward, Spirit? Ooh, oh, she shuffled funny. She Cupid shuffled in my hands. Kether, we got the crown. Yeah, spirituality. Like I was saying, intuition, mama. That's important right now. You know, you being able to listen to that inner guide, that gut feeling, like I was talking about earlier, really digging into that Leo solar plexus chakra energy and trusting your instincts, trusting your gut and what it's telling you, what it's guiding you to move towards, and not feeling as if you always have to second guess yourself, because you are exactly where you need to be. And if you don't like where you are, you always have the option to move somewhere different, and allowing yourself to engage deeper with your inner world and being, and see where it's calling you to move towards, especially with the world card. The world is your oyster, my Infinity Collective, and it is completely yours to explore and find yourself within, as well as finding other people and places. So be open to all of it. Be open to this experience for all that it is. I think it's going to be fun. I don't think that it's going to be completely burdensome, even if we do have the Ten of Wands here and the Seven of Swords here. I think that it's brief, and it's also meant to fish out anything that you simply don't need. But there is a lot of happiness promised, especially with the Sun card here and Judgment, and also with the community and web weaving of the spider and protection. You are divinely protected and you are divinely guided. You are guided and guarded by your spirit council. And you know, don't be afraid to reach out to them throughout this process if you feel as if you need to get a second opinion on what it is that you're going through. Or even if you have other friends that are invested in spirituality, engage with them. See what they have to say. See how they've been feeling and what they think of your experience, or the downloads or synchronicities that you have been seeing and feeling lately. I think that you're going to find a lot more common ground in you being open than you realize. Open spiritually, and also open socially as well. Just open to the love that surrounds and embodies you, my Infinity Collective, and allowing it to manifest accordingly. But in order for that to happen, there's give and take present. So whatever it is that you feel as if goes, don't perceive it as a loss, perceive it as a release. So you now have room for complementary energies that are meant to enforce this path that you are embarking on. Yes, we have Gabriel, Angel of Heralds, at the bottom deck here. So it's definitely about manifesting the world around you and being able to see the power that you truly hold and what exactly it becomes in a tangible sense. There is a goal here for you at the end of the day. You are very fixated on a specific purpose at this moment, but I think that it is very, very not just empowering, but also electrifying to your being and your core, and it will open many doors for you, and it will open a world beyond what you are currently living in, one that you didn't perceive originally to be possible. But with that, like I was saying, it comes a bit of sacrifice. Not just, this people over here, but also sacrifice in terms of delegation and routine and scheduling and just, innovation as well. And it's also sacrificing old parts of yourself so new parts can flourish and grow accordingly. So that is what I'm seeing for you, my Infinity Collective. I really love your group. I love the fact that you are really taking your destiny and path into your own hands, and you're not challenging but standing firm within this process and not really folding unless bitches want to see you at the laundromat. So that is all I have for you for now. Do let me know what you think of this down below in the comments, and feel free to share this video or subscribe if you like my little spiels that I got going on. I'm really looking forward to speaking with all of you soon. Stay safe, stay blessed, and I will see you guys soon. Bye! Hello to all of you that have chosen the Spiral Collective and the Lemon Verbana jar as your corresponding earth for today's messages. So, what's tea? Let's get into that, shall we? Let's see what exactly it is we got with Miss Thing over here, Miss Full Moon in Leo, and how we're able to incorporate this very individualistic and unique energy that we have at the forefront of the atmosphere at the moment, in combination with our potential and identity, and use it to really accelerate our sense of expression and growth forward into something that is truly representative of who we are and what exactly it is that we are experiencing, and only allowing in people that are sincere and open with their intentions and presence in our lives. That goes also for opportunities, endeavors, and even environments, engaging in vibes that are good. Good vibes only. That's it. That's the reading. I'm done. Imagine. I do apologize for this very bubbly nature that I got going on right now. Well, I'm not gonna apologize. That's the Leo again kicking in, but that's also my Aries stellium kicking in. But it's making me a little bit more playful than usual, if I'm very honest. But I love it, to be real. I don't think that spirituality and tarot or any form of divination has to be serious, even though the messages are serious and they are to be taken, whether it be with a grain of salt or not, they are to be absorbed and digested accordingly. I think that, the deliverance of it doesn't have to always be so uniformal or monotonous, if anything. I think that there is always room to allow lightheartedness and joy within this sense of expression, because this really is just another form of expression, even if what it is that I'm expressing is not only me as a divinator, but also the general resonances of the world around me. I think that the way in which every reader goes about it is so different, and I love that, if I'm honest. I love that, you get a unique feel for every individual channel. So even though there are a lot of tarot readers on this channel, okay, we're getting 2 cards for you guys apparently. Even though there are a lot of tarot readers not on this channel, on this platform, I love that, and I love that there's really is room for everybody. And I think that this particular lunar cycle is also encouraging us to adapt that mentality, especially with the cards that I just got. I got the Lovers again for the heart of the reading. This is also the heart of reading for a group that I did last week. So hello, choice. We love that. We love free will. And we also have the 5 of Wands here. So I think that this is definitely about overcoming conflict within the choices and people around you. I think you're overcoming it though, because the Five of Wands, even if there is a heat of the moment exchange, it's all love at the end of the day, as the Lover suggests. Lovers is all about communication. It's ruled by Mercury. Mercury is in the signs of Virgo and Gemini. So there is definitely a theme of communication present. With the Five of Wands here, that's also another community card. It isn't a harmonious community card like the Four of Wands, but it most definitely has the potential to be, because after the Five of Wands is the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is all about public recognition and being respected and admired for your efforts. So I think a lot of you are engaging in the choices and people that currently are presenting themselves to you or have been in your life for quite some time, and you're seeing just how you're able to really incorporate that sense of recognition for the role that you play and the role that they play, a reciprocation of recognition, if that makes sense, allowing both parties to feel understood and accepted and respected for not just their potential differences, but similarities and just general individuality as well. Yeah, with the Three of Swords here, I definitely think that this is a love reading. This is the love group. We got the love group going on. Hello. With the Three of Swords here, I think that there is potential for conflict and it may be triggering, but I think that there is a stronger pull and magnetism towards the people around you. This could also be for soulmates. I don't want to all just, generalize it as a love reading, even though it is a general reading, but considering that, I don't want to just make that the only possibility worth exploring for this interpretation. This could also be for just general soulmates, and soulmates again don't always have to be romantic. It could be close friends or colleagues or peers that simply march to the beat of their own drum, but you're all marching in the same direction, if that makes sense. And being able to overcome the slight differences that you have so you can work towards a higher common goal. And if you feel as if you are simply too incompatible, then it is perhaps time to release accordingly for some of you. But I think that with the Three of Swords here, even if you feel as if it is time to cut someone off, I definitely think that it's going to allow room for people that are much more understanding and accepting of you to come through. But it's also going to be a bit of a relief, I'm feeling. I feel like it's a bit more conflicting to keep that particular person around than it is to release them. So I think this is the time for you to affirm that decision for yourself and really put your foot down if you need to, or if you feel as if it's necessary. If you feel as if it's simply a slight hiccup or something to release, like you have something on your chest, yeah, with the Eight of Swords here, you feel like you simply just have something on your, Eight of Swords and Five of Wands here. So this is definitely about collaborating with the people around you, but in a vulnerable sense, and your emotional receptiveness towards one another. So if you feel a bit trapped by someone and they're not really allowing you to be all that you are, or they aren't supportive of all that you are, then let them go. However, if you feel as if you are simply trapped within this circumstance and you have words to release from your chest, swords are also in relation to the throat chakra. So if you have something that you've been meaning to talk about and your general resentment has been penting up, but this is someone that you truly love and want to keep in your future, and you see the potential in having them as a long-term figure in your life, then you have to be willing to restructure with the Five of Pentacles here, so that way this person doesn't feel left out in the cold, for one, and two, you're able to understand what exactly makes you and the person in question feel slighted or disconnected from this connection? And how are you able to bridge and mend that gap accordingly so you're able to have a relationship that is much stronger? All right, so let's get some more cards here for you guys. All right, let's see, for my Spiral Collective, how can they think outside the box? And do they need to release this? Ooh, okay, already. We got the same card that came out for the last group, the Nine of Pentacles. So we have Nine of Pentacles, and we have the Eight of Wands that just came out. So there is definitely rapid communication on the horizon. Nine of Pentacles is the quintessential bad bitch card, if I'm honest. I think that maybe perhaps there are some people that might be competing for your affection, or you are entertaining more than one person. Perhaps you're just like open and dating at the moment, and I see that. Yes, okay, so we have the Eight of Cups here, and we have the Hierophant. So I think that you are really walking away from people that you don't see anything substantial or sustainable in, especially with the Hierophant card that's right here. This is all about practicality and commitment. This card is ruled by Taurus, and it's all about engaging in a higher sense of union as well. With the Eight of Cups here, I think that you are not afraid at this point to walk away from people that do not serve you. If you are cutting people off, I feel as if you have been thinking about cutting them off for a while. So this doesn't come as a surprise, to be very real. I think that you've been entertaining being a single bad bitch for a moment, and I think that this is the push that you need to make that executive decision for yourself. For others of you, I think that you have a stronger sense of individuality that you have gained from your past, and you don't allow other people to trigger you, and you don't allow yourself to self-sabotage anymore any of your connections, and that you are releasing people that you feel are simply too reflective of your emotional availability and vulnerability in the past, or if you feel as if they simply are adding to your sense of fulfillment. And what I want to point out is that even though we have the Lovers as the heart of the reading, and it always is about union and relationships, well, generally speaking it is also, again, I want to always highlight about choice and realizing that any connection that you do have, regardless of how much you love that person, it is simply a choice at the end of the day. You have the option to walk away whenever you feel as if you are incapable of contributing to this union for whatever reason. As long as you are open and honest with this person about your reasoning, it is nothing to feel guilty or ashamed of doing. I think that for some of you, you might be concerned about how this other person will perceive you if you choose to end your dynamic with them. But I think that that doesn't matter, if I'm honest, because you don't have to worry anymore about what other people think of you. I think that now you are more concerned about how you perceive yourself and how you feel the most fulfilled and the most balance with your internal and external world. And with the two eights here that my eye was just immediately drawn to just now, I definitely feel that there's a reflection of time and the events that occur within it, because wands are very physical and they're very fast, and then cups are very fluid. You don't exactly know when the tides turn, but you know that it's constantly in motion. So I feel like this is something that you've been contemplating doing for yourself, or something you've been contemplating speaking about with this person if this isn't someone that you're looking to cut off. And you're no longer concerned with how or what if that makes sense. Like the possibility of failure or hurt isn't enough to sway you from avoiding this circumstance any further. I feel like if anything, the other person might be a little bit more of avoidant of this than you are, if I'm completely honest. And you might be the initiator in this conversation or break. But you are doing it for all the right reasons. Especially with the Hierophant card, this is all about professional advice and counseling and mediation. So there definitely needs to be a sense of mediation when you do have this conversation with this person. It does not have to be a big blowout. It does not have to be an argument, really. It can simply be a dialogue between two people about their emotional world and their place in it at the moment. And if it's a case where you are simply on two sides of the globe or two sides of the world at that moment, then perhaps it is time for you to explore individually, and maybe perhaps you'll come together, perhaps not. For others of you, if you feel as if there is too much of a distance, how can you how can you merge that? How can you bring that together and feel closer to this person and have a dynamic that is true and honest and completely free and open of expectation? So I'm gonna put that here. And your bottom deck that we have here, this is the Three of Cups. So there's 2 3s. There's a lot of repetition of numbers here, which I like, honestly. I feel like it's a reflection of two people, if I'm real. It's that twin energy of the lovers present. So that's what I think. Wow, that's what I think that it is. One person is like wanting to stay, one person is wanting to leave, one person is hurt, the other person is having fun. Like there's definitely not a lot of balance here, and I think that you need to work on that. But the way in which you do has to just simply be with a very honest communication, even if it's a bit hard for you to be that vulnerable. I think that's very necessary in order for you to release the resentment or person respectfully, so no one feels deceived or slighted or what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say hurt, because hurt is inevitable. Even if it simply only hurts for the 5 minutes that you're being honest about how you feel, and nothing further. I will say discomfort, if anything. There's nothing wrong with feeling uncomfortable. You have to feel uncomfortable every once in a while. If you're constantly feeling comfortable, that's a problem. You have to be willing to kick yourself in the ass a little bit from time to time and get yourself going. But that takes time to do, and you just have to be a bit patient with yourself for one, but also a bit understanding of that reluctance in the first place, and see how you're able to maneuver around it and engage yourself with a space of compassion present. Not judgment, but compassion. So that way you're also able to hold that space of compassion for other people when you're having these conversations with them. And regardless of the outcome, you are able to do it to the best of your ability and do it as amicably as possible with the Three of Cups here. So even if it is difficult, and even if someone ends up walking away, with the Nine of Wands here, I feel like this isn't going to be reflective for everybody. So even if someone does walk away, I think that you still persevere anyways. Or for other cases, you still persevere within this relationship and find a sense of fulfillment within. We have the Strength card here too. So there definitely is a yin and yang and mirroring energy between you and this person. I don't want to put labels on anything because this is a general reading, but perhaps like this is a karmic situation, or someone that is meant to teach you a lot about yourself really on this plane, for better or for worse, because energy works both ways. So it's just about reflecting on the lessons that they've taught you, and what weight their presence in your life currently holds, and if it's something to release or something to delegate a little better so it doesn't feel so heavy, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to keep that here. Now let's get some from this tarot deck. And I will put all of the decks in the description, so we all know what we're working with today. Alright, let's get some clarifying energy for the Nine of Pentacles. Holy Spirit. Nothing spiral collective. Think outside the box. Woof! 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 Oh, that's a lot of cards, mommy. Let's do this one at a time. Por favor, one card, spirit. How can the Spiral Collective think outside the box? And according for this circle. Alright, let's get this. Oh, we got the star. This card also came out, but with this deck. For the other group. I think that's so funny. You guys have like switched energies, which I think is really cool. Perhaps you also have a few messages in group 1 as well for some of you. So feel free to go ahead and click on the description so you can see all the timestamps and bounce back and forth between groups if you want. You got free will at the end of the day. You got a timestamp. Have fun. So with the star card here under the 9 of Pentacles, it's so funny because they both have stars, and then so there is a lot of promising growth in you making this decision. Even if it's a hard decision to make for yourself, I think that you remaining optimistic within your choice, meaning you reinforce the idea that you are making the right choice, and you are doing this ultimately to grow and acclaim harmony and happiness. And as long as you remind yourself of that as many times as you need to throughout this process, you're affirming that within yourself, and you're also affirming to the universe your intention, and you're able to easily allow in new opportunities that see that and respect that and are willing to build upon this new world that you are building for yourself, my Spiral Collective. This is also Aquarius energy, so I definitely think that a lot of this is going to happen within Aquarius season, for one. And two, we have the Mercury retrograde coming up, and I'm pretty sure that's going to also be in Aquarius. I will look again and correct myself if not. But if it is, then I definitely see communication being important. Maybe a lot of people say, oh, don't break up during a Mercury retrograde, or don't get into a relationship during a Mercury retrograde. But the way that I see it with Mercury retrogrades is that that doesn't really apply when it's like a karmic or soul bond or tie situation. Because if anything, I feel that Mercury is going back to reaffirm the purpose for this union. If not, then I definitely see that throughout Aquarius season, this is going to play a pivotal role in you moving forward throughout the rest of 2021. And it's going to make it very clear who is worth investing in, and how much are you going to be investing in yourself throughout the rest of this year. Especially with the 9 of Pentacles here, Earth signs are all about investments, and it doesn't have to always be monetary. It can also simply just be energy. And yeah, we got the Knight of Swords here. Communication, mama, come on. Especially under the 8 of Wands. Yes, this is going to be a very sudden communicated pattern, if I'm honest. Or like, don't be surprised if it's just one day where you just wake up randomly, or like, I need to talk to this person and get this off my chest now. For better or for worse, of course. Even if you are at first a bit reactive to this person, and if you're unable to engage from a place of patience and understanding in a moment, then don't be afraid to go back to the drawing board and then come back afterwards. Or alternatively, for others of you, don't be afraid to simply take a step back in the heat of the dialogue and really reflect on, again, that intention and why you're even having this conversation in the first place, and come back when you're ready. It's passionate, and I feel like it's just because you have a bit of history with this person, past life history for one. So even if you haven't even known them for that long, that baggage comes back and it just manifests differently in different lifetimes. It's just about maneuvering it accordingly and figuring out how yeah, we got the sun here, figuring out how you shine and how you are able to this is another card that came out for this deck and this group. I really do think your groups are mirroring, but this is all about happiness, and we have two people here, so I definitely think this might be some sort of soulmate or karmic tie situation. And again, doesn't always have to be romantic. But if it is, then I definitely see that this particular conversation is going to be on the decisive moment in which you configure what is going to make you happy in 2021, whether it be you're single, whether it be that you're still with this person, whether it be that you continue to collaborate with this person or walk away and find someone else to continue working with. I definitely think that this is going to be pivotal for you, and it's going to really ignite your sense of collaboration and community, and allow all the right people in. I really do. Whether it be, again, you continue working with this particular being or not. Oh yeah, we got the Knight of Cups in there, and the Three of Swords again. Wow. The bottom deck energy is again the Eight of Swords. So I definitely feel like for some of you, you might feel way too trapped by this person, and this is your way out. For others of you, I think that you need to think a little bit more about how you say this before you say it, so it doesn't come out wrong. Because the Knight of Cups was your original bottom deck energy. Before I even clicked record, I looked at the bottom of the deck to see what card was there, and I saw Knight of Cups, but it was upright and now it's reversed. So I definitely think that thinking deeper about your intentions and emotions throughout this process, and communicating it with care is so important, so you don't allow other people to feel just left out and hurt by this. You know, the hurt is inevitable, but it doesn't have to be excruciating. It can really be discomforting, if anything, but it's growing pains. It's something that you need to experience in order for you to grow out of your shell and into something that is much more becoming of who you really are. And not being afraid to really release that accordingly, because it's time for you to do that. It's time for you to let go. It's time for you to be very real with yourself about what you are and aren't willing to tolerate, and what your standards are for yourself and the people around you. And you set that precedent, and acknowledge that you set that precedent. You know what I mean? Like, you have so much more influence in this situation than you realize at this moment, and I think you need to really acclaim all of your emotions and willpower and general form at this current moment, and find ways in which you can allow it to feel free, not feel so trapped or bogged down by the possibility of hurt, or the inevitable hurt or discomfort, I should say, and just allow yourself to be reminded of the fact that you're doing this and making this decision out of love, even if there is a, you know what, I will take those, I will take these, I will take you, fine. That was very sudden. Yeah, bottom deck energy for you is werewolf, exploring wildness for sure. I definitely think that this person might bring out some shadow aspects of you, or they have in the past, and I think that you are now using that to examine deepen parts of yourself and see you know, what your love style is, how you need to be loved, how you need to be heard, how you need to be talked to and understood the most. And then we have Skull of Stars here. Yeah, so we have infinite possibilities. Exactly. This really could go either way for a lot of you. There is just a lot of nuance present within your dynamic with this person. And I feel like even though I am giving you this reading to give you guidance, I am here to also remind you that A, free will is an option, and B, the guidance that I give you is just like simply what I'm picking up on in this moment in time. Energy is always in flux. And also, I feel like I can't even tell you like what the best decision is to make in this case. I think that this is really examining the situation for what it is and reminding you of all of the adjacent possibilities that are present, and you exploring yourself throughout any of these possibilities. Self-exploration is inevitable regardless of the choice that you make, but I feel like what it is that you explore about yourself is really up for questioning depending on the choice. So this is all about allowing yourself to see that there really is so much with free will, and there really is so much power behind it, and not being afraid to harness those reins and take control of the situation, because we also have the zombie card here, which is all about control, feeling controlled by an influence or force higher than yourself, but realizing that you don't always have to feel that way. Zombies are you know, we all see like general, like, I don't want to say lore, but like, you know, the generalization of zombies, you know, they're always conjured or summoned by a force that is higher than themselves. But I feel like we all forget that zombies also, even though they have this physical presence, they also had a soul at one point, and even if their physical body is being controlled, their soul isn't. And you realizing that you always have the ability to listen to your soul, listen to your spirit and its essence, and what exactly makes it feel the most alive, and how you're able to reincarnate, if anything, and rebirth yourself or your emotional depth or space if need be. Especially with here, we have midnight, the most magical time of all. So yeah, I feel like this is all about finding that light to see in the dark. And also, I feel like this might be a situation that you think about a lot, and you might not be getting a lot of sleep because of it, or you just spend a lot of time thinking about it. But with midnight here, this is representative of a new day, a new beginning. Even if it's at night, and we can't see it because the sun isn't out, we're engaging in a new cycle of time. So I think that you recognizing that not everything happens like in such an obvious way, and like energy doesn't culminate and build so openly is a theme for you, because you're kind of exploring this sentiment and feeling that you tend to keep a bit repressed, and allowing it to be seen and be heard, because you owe yourself a new cycle and a new day. And it's, you know, again, we have that theme of time, like I was talking about earlier, which is fucking crazy. So I definitely think that this is about you reflecting on how you spend your time, and you wanting to spend it in ways that are a lot more meaningful. And then here we have the lamp. Yes, remembrance. Like, exactly, thinking about how you spend your time. I didn't even look at the damn card. And you know, being able to see again, making it more meaningful, making it spending your time with people that truly love you and accept you and are willing to compromise with you. My spiral collective, that's very important for you right now. You need to feel loved right now. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that. You know, we're human beings. We crave connection. We crave intimacy. We crave communication. There's nothing wrong with being adamant about your need to be loved, because it truly is like a healing and higher frequency of its own. And it's something that we owe to ourselves, first and foremost, and we also owe other people as well. We owe them space and respect, which is built on the notion of love. So this is going to be your closing oracle card here. Yeah, we have Bina, left eye, knowledge. So like I was saying, like, this is a utilization of the wisdom you have gained from this particular connection and situation, and allowing yourself to use this experience to see what makes you feel the most in tune with your emotions. Because if you see Bina here, she has the moon in this palm over here. So it's also, I see this as that that knowledge of your internal world and your emotions and your internal circumstance and existence, and how you're able to allow it to shine and not feel as if it's constantly in the dark, allowing it to be seen and felt and heard, and not feeling ashamed or guilty for allowing it. And I think that you're well past that stage, or for some of you, you're getting past that stage. But this is just about you really affirming that sense of individuality and knowing. And then we have your bottom deck energies. Yeah, that's so funny. We have the left eye, and then we have the ground here, which is Malkuth, and this is the kingdom. So this is definitely a That's so funny. Bina's looking away, and Malkuth is just looking right at it. And I've noticed that there's a bit of a hollowness present here, which is normally like where the heart chakra is. So I definitely think this is about you exploring that depth and realizing that even if you can't necessarily see anything in that moment, there's so much more that lives and exists beyond the surface. And it's not shallow. It's just something that your eye isn't able to capture. So this is, again, like looking a little deeper and realizing that not everything is seen. Sometimes things are meant to be felt or heard or explored deeper. And this is about you exploring your world and what makes you feel the most connected to yourself. And this person reminds you of what makes you feel the most connected to yourself. And this, if you're willing to build a kingdom, whether it be on your own or with the help of a king, queen, or royalty or liege for the non-binary lovelies that watch this video. Are you going to do it all alone, or are you going to do it by yourself? I feel like that's the question that is going to be key in this communication and decision making that you are engaging in, my Spiral Collective. But remind yourself that, you know, you're doing this for the right reason. Again, you're not doing this with an empty heart and an empty mind. You're doing this very intentionally. And even if you end up having to release this person, know that you're releasing them into something that is much more suited for who they are. And the same goes for you as well. You know, there isn't loss in the situation, even if it's perceived to be, and there's discomfort and hurt that is present throughout this process, because there is so much more to gain by making this necessary sacrifice and overcoming this sense of conflict. For better, or not even for worse, just for better. There is no worse. I don't think there's a right or wrong in this situation. I think that as long as you're honest, that's what matters. Honest with yourself and honest with the people around you. And how willing are you to be unconditionally honest with yourself? That is how you can think outside the box with this situation. My beautiful Spiral Collective. That is what I am currently seeing for you for this full moon cycle. I don't mean to trigger any of you. I realized that this reading was very much focused on the hiccups in this dynamicism, but realize that is simply an opportunity to explore yourself and the other person a lot deeper, and also your general bond, and see just how solidified it is with the world that you are currently building with yourself, and how intrinsic it is to its growth and evolution. So remind yourself that this is a part of the process. Be gentle with yourself, be gentle with those around you, be honest, be open, but if this person doesn't deserve your respect or your time, then don't even bother. But if this is an amicable solution to reach, then do so with grace and with integrity, and you are doing the best that you can, and be proud of yourself for doing that and for making this call to communicate, call to separate, whatever it is. You are doing this because you realize that there is potential for growth in both parties, and you are doing what you can to further it and allow the seeds to be nurtured and simply acknowledged accordingly. So be very gentle with yourselves, my Spiral Collective. Please stay safe. Do let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions or comments or concerns or general thoughts about your reading. Let me know what you think is up with it. Or you feel free to revisit and let me know how it plays out for you, if anything. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time and your presence as always. Stay strong, stay blessed. I'm looking forward to seeing and speaking with all of you soon. Bye. Hello. All of you have chosen the I Collective and Basil as your corresponding jar for today's messages. So let's go ahead and dive right into this full moon in Leo energy. I feel like a lot of the channeled messages have been very direct. The last group was, even though it was a bit challenging to navigate because it was an emotional matter, it was still a bit juicy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like there's a lot of tea to spill, and it's so funny because I asked the past group, which is the spiral group, what's tea? And oh, was I served? It was piping, scalding at that. So I definitely think that with this full moon in Leo transit, we're all kind of just putting all of our cards on the table, literally, and seeing what exactly makes us feel the most connected to ourselves and the world around us. We have IV here. Let me check this again. Not quick on my feet with Roman numerals. Baby was not a mathematician by any means. The Emperor. So we already have the Emperor as a card serving as the heart of your reading. So already it's all about taking control, taking reign of your universe and kingdom. Yeah, especially with the universe card being at your bottom deck at this current moment. This is about you really owning up to that mantra. This is my world and y'all are just living in it. But I think that in you seeing that, you are really examining how you're able to push the boundaries of your kingdom, and what is it that you need to release that doesn't make you feel empowered within your autonomy and self-governance, if that makes sense. So let's get another card from here to see what's going on with my eye collective for the full moon Leo. All the decks are also going to be in the description, by the way, so we know exactly what we're working with. We have the Five of Cups here. Yeah, this is a release of emotion, a release of anything, again, that doesn't make you feel empowered. Allowing yourself the time to release a sense of grief or a sense of loss from mistakes of the past, and empowering yourself in the present. So you have the magic of wisdom on your side. The Emperor is also, yeah, strength. Not utilizing this as something to unnecessarily hold against yourself, but rather seeing the lessons and experience for what it is, and grasping a motivation from it, if anything. The strength is also all about Leo, as is, funnily enough. And then we also have the Emperor ruled by Aries, so there's fire and water here. So it's the idea of balancing passion and your ability to properly express it and build for yourself with it. And I think that for a lot of you, this is about you trying to acclaim yourself in the past, but for whatever reason, it simply did not work out, and you weren't necessarily disempowered, but you were grieving at one point over what could have been, or grieving over what you perceive to be an action on your end. And I think that this full moon and Leo cycle is calling for you to release those feelings of regret and guilt, and instead using that as the key to unlock doors full of potential and promise. So let's get some cards to get a little deeper into this collective, my beautiful eye collective. What do we have going on for them? How can they think outside the box? Oh, already. Let's see, it'll come back out if it wants to. Well, how can they think? Oof. Okay, we got two. Yeah, we have Eight of Cups, which is so funny. It came out reversed. In the past group, I saw Eight of Cups come out, but it was with the Quantum Tarot deck, not the Tattoo Tarot deck. So I think it's so funny how all these groups are mirroring each other in very different ways, or at least like the energy is the same, but it's manifesting in very differently depending on the circumstance. So we have two fives. We have Five of Cups, and now we have Five of Swords over here. So I definitely feel that there's a need to win, a need to make better decisions for yourself, and you are really walking away. Oof, yeah, we have the King of Pentacles here. You really are doing what you can right now, is what you can control, to build a better future for yourself and build something that is sustainable and structured at that. But I feel that it comes with hardship and with loss and a bit of sorrow in the past. I feel that either you had to leave people behind quietly, or other people kind of left you out in the dust, and you just had to kind of, either way, pick up pieces and move forward and keep a brave face, if anything. I feel like maybe there was a point in time beforehand where that brave face cracked, and you allowed yourself to be a bit vulnerable. But I feel like the King of Coins, you are now dedicated to being there for yourself, or you're embarking on a path towards unconditionally understanding and serving your truth. Yes, especially with the Knight of Swords that just came out for you guys. This is all about your inner truth, really, and your inner power, and how you're able to transmute and manifest it. And I think that you have, or currently are, releasing what you perceive as an L, or any previous L's that you have taken, and you are now using the truth as your navigational system, and it's your truth specifically. I see there's a lot of thought present with the Knight of Swords here. It's all about mentally mapping out your way forward, and also engaging in new ways of thinking, and also new ways of communicating internally with yourself. Kind of ramping up your inner dialogue is really important for you, my I Collective. Allowing yourself to see yourself differently. It's so funny, you're the I Collective, and the first card that came out was the Five of Cups, and there's an eye right here with tears. So I think you just need to look at yourself a lot differently. That's how you can really think outside the box. You need to really see just how powerful you really are, even in what you perceive to be your weak moments, and how you were able to simply persevere even when you perceived it to be a bit challenging, or even, dare I say, impossible at times. And now you are finding new ways to take those lessons and apply them into your mental space, and use that as what's the word I'm looking for? Use it as leverage to propel forward within your evolution. I also think that with the Knight of Swords here, you are also looking to find different ways of experimenting with how you acclaim your sense of abundance. I feel like you probably had ideas before that you were really sure of in the past, and they just did not work out, and then you were a bit hard on yourself for it, and kind of held on to that, and really didn't allow yourself to I don't want to say you didn't allow yourself to move forward, but what I will say is you didn't entirely release that feeling of rejection, if anything, even if it was all internalized. You were gunning for something and it didn't map out the way that you were hoping to, so now you're like, okay, well, how can I get a better result with what I can control, and use the lessons of the past to serve as markers and checkpoints for this new path that I have paved for myself. How can I continue to engage in new ideas and opportunities that are meaningful to me? Yes, especially with the Two of Coins here. And how can I delegate my internal and external presence primarily for myself, like how are you able to better support yourself? I feel like that's the key theme for you here. How are you better to oof, wow, I can't talk. How are you better to how are you going to better serve yourself? There we go. I feel like you do have a lot of thoughts about self-improvement. I don't think that you have a defeatist attitude at all. I think that you have a lot of willpower and a lot of strength, but you are still a human being at the end of the day, and it's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to feel disappointed or upset about something, especially when you are so passionate and assured of your potential and energy. It's hard when you aren't able to really allow it to be seen or felt or heard. Especially with Aries here. Aries is a very young energy. Even if the Emperor is an older figure, Aries, its core is the internal child of the zodiac, or at least that's how I like to see it. So I feel like recently, it doesn't have to be as recent as yesterday, but you know, within primarily like maybe the past like months or year at that, you have really found yourself and found the very empowered version of yourself, and you're very eager to put it out there. But it's just about finding the right opportunities that align with this sense of power and magnetism that you have, and not allowing yourself to say just yes to just about anything. I don't think that you do. I think that you're very confident and uncompromising in your goals and what it is that you set out to work for. I think that it's just about giving yourself a break when necessary, not just taking a break from your pursuits or passions, but giving yourself a mental break and a physical break, simply so you can take that time to recalibrate and not feel so burnt out, and to allow everything to manifest organically throughout its own time. Especially with the King of Coins here. The King of Coins acknowledges that things take time, and that nature in itself is an entity of its own, and that growth is not a linear construct. And this is simply about you again, yeah, delegating that sense of growth, that sense of balance, because we have the sun and the moon here. So this is your internal and your external world, and then we have how it calibrates. So it's like tipping the scales a little bit, like I was talking about earlier in another group, seeing how they're able to even out a bit for you, and how you're able to best support yourself throughout this process is very important for you, my Eye Collective. Your bottom deck energy is a 3 of Coins. Yes, so there is progression in balance. There is progression in duality, acknowledging that you are a fluid being, and even though you are powerful, you're going to have days where you don't feel as strong-willed or assured. There are going to be days where you feel a bit out of it, generally across the board, but that is nothing to beat yourself up over, because it's still a part of the process. I also feel that maybe having people around you that ground you and see your vision for what it is very helpful for you. Or even if you simply need people that are of good mental support and are not and are practical in a way. I think that'll also be very helpful for you. Just having someone that is very down to earth and grounded to provide you the space and comfort, or even dialogue that you need in order to vent out your feelings or frustrations, and to simply get a better feedback. Because I feel like there's you have an inner critic, as we all do, but I feel like it can be a bit snappy at times, and it's still you at the end of the day. You don't have to hold that high expectation of yourself. You have the free will to rebel against yourself and your standards at any moment, and even when you are in a position of power, you can still rebel against that position of power if need be in a moment, and take a step back and reflect on what it means to hold that power in the first place, and delegate your time and energy accordingly with yourself. Delegate your time and energy accordingly with your pursuits and path and ascension, and with your current state of existence on this plane. Because even if we are spiritual beings having a human existence, we still exist on this plane, and we still have duties and paths and general contracts to keep our end of throughout this experience, even if the resonance of it plays out on planes much higher and abstract than our own. We're still here on Earth at the end of the day, and reminding yourself of that, and to not psych yourself out, because you are still growing, irregardless of how seasoned you are or how confident you are. Realize that you are still human at the end of the day, and that's always subject to change. There's always that sense of fluidity that is present, but utilize every opportunity as something to build upon, even if it's big or small. Everything makes a difference. Being mindful of all the steps that are necessary throughout this process, and seeing the value in each step along the way is important. Maybe it would be helpful for some of you to have a journal of mindfulness, or a gratitude journal, or to simply map out your ideas. Have a dream book, if anything. Not a book where you literally write down your dreams, unless you are getting a lot of heavy channeling throughout this Aquarius season. Then yes, the astral realm is definitely a place where you're going to be getting a lot of messages, and I think that with the way that this card is looking, you probably are going to be getting a lot of messages from the astral realm about new endeavors and ideas that you can build upon. And I think having just a general book of manifestations would be really helpful for you. It'll keep you grounded, it'll keep you centered, and it'll also remind you of why you're working on yourself and your sense of expression in the first place. It'll remind you the beauty of it, and the simple pleasures of doing anything, really. The simple pleasure of simply existing, and being completely present within your experience. So let me get some cards from my quantum tarot deck to get some clarificación. That's not a word in Spanish, but whatever, here we are. Oh no, I have a card that fell. It's okay, we'll get to that. Alright, so let's see what it is that we got going on here for my lovely eye collective. What can we see happening so we can think outside the box? Ooh, hello. So we have the Four of Wands that came out in reverse to clarify the Five of Swords. So I definitely feel as if this feeling of regret over here is ignited by a sense of disruption and harmony. Like I was saying, I feel like you had to suddenly walk away from someone or something, and in that moment you just had to do what you had to do, and you knew exactly why you were doing it, even if it was something that disrupted this sociable environment or attitude between you and other people. I think you had to do it in order for you to be centered within yourself. I think that you got too invested in what other people had to think about you, and you had to walk away, and now you are releasing those ideas accordingly. And because I feel like for some of you, yes, especially with the Nine of Cups that just came out in reverse under the Eight of Cups, I think that this isn't this decision that you made for yourself was something that you did not want to do, but you had to do, because you saw that you just simply weren't empowered in your previous circumstance before you reached this acclamation of empowerment. It wasn't working out, and you knew that these people weren't able to really see you for all that you were, so you had to kind of just sneak away from that situation, so to speak, and it kind of tipped over what you thought you needed at the time. And now you are being presented with a completely different concept of emotional fulfillment. And a lot of it is internal, a lot of it is also alone, because we have two kings standing alone within their kingdoms. So even though if it is a bit jarring to feel as if you're doing all of this by yourself, yes, and now we have the Queen of Pentacles. It's necessary. Now we have a queen joining the king. You're not alone. But I think that this is reminding you that there is so much more out there in the world that is complementary to your growth, for one, and two, again, it's that sense of duality and balance, your internal and external sense of gain, and what it means to feel emotionally fulfilled and financially or physically fulfilled as well. With the Queen of Pentacles here, clarifying the King of Coins, again, you knew it, that you had to make this decision for yourself. This is something that you're releasing accordingly. These ideas of yourself that you have gained from the past, and the people and experiences of it, or this inner dialogue that you have, you're letting go of that now and allowing something that is so much more nurturing to come through, whether it be in the physical manifestation of another person that is very compassionate and understanding towards you, or even if this is just you being very compassionate and understanding towards yourself, not allowing yourself to feel alone throughout this process, even though both of you are or both parts of you are being expressed very differently. Ultimately, it contributes towards the same picture, if that makes sense. You're still getting you're getting to the same place. It's just the way in which you're getting there is different. The Queen of Pentacles is very resourceful and very very practical as well. So you saw the practicality in you leaving these old ideas of yourself behind, this old inner dialogue behind, and you are now holding a lot more meaningful space for yourself. Yes, you're leaving it behind. It's dying. This is the Death card here that is clarifying the Knight of Swords. So with Death clarifying this, this is that Scorpio energy of rebirth and renewal. I also think that with the Death card present, it's under the Knight of Swords, it's asking you to, again, kill that inner dialogue or that inner critic that is simply too constructive or constructive to the point where it becomes to be like borderline bullying. Whether it be like your own inner dialogue or how other people talk to you, I think it's necessary for you to cut that off and allow, again, we have the Three of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, allowing yourself to rebuild your inner structure. I think that's a very big theme for you, and all of the figureheads that exist within it, you are examining and realigning their positions of power accordingly. Especially with the Three of Pentacles here, you're seeing you are some of your parts. I feel like you are seeing all parts of yourself, even your shadow aspects, and you are asking yourself, how present does this part of me have to be, or if it has to even be present at all? And releasing outdated versions of yourself accordingly to make room for new growth, which I think is beautiful. And it's really hard to get to that point, if I'm honest. But I think that you are doing so to the best of your ability, and that you are willingly engaging in all parts of you, because you know that you know all of you, for one, and two, at the end of the day, you realize that it really is just you. Like I said earlier, it's just you. You don't have to be so harsh and judgmental towards yourself. I feel like we have that notion existing amongst one another too much as is, and you are the change you wish to see in the world. So this is about you being that change you wish to see, and approaching yourself with a open, honest, and loving space, so you can come to common ground with all of these parts of yourself. Yes, cauldron, synergy, and healing. Come on, communication, come on, intuition. That's what we got going here. So Definite, yes, eternal love. I also feel that for some of you this again could be a partnership where it's like you this could also be a slight within your emotional matter. This could be love for others of you. I think that you find somebody that wasn't exactly what you were expecting, but they complement you very well, and there is a sense of balance that needs to occur, and reprioritizing your healing and overall self in order for you to make this happen. But I think that it will. For others of you, this is very internal, and this is about the love for yourself that exists. We have love is love is love, and it transcends physical death. Exactly. We have the death card over here too. So I definitely think this is very big on the love that you have for yourself and the space that you hold for yourself, as I was saying right before, and being very compassionate with you and allowing it to grow accordingly. Even in death, there is life. Even in death, there is growth. And that's what you are doing. You are allowing new ideas to grow and manifest accordingly that are much more complementary to your current state of existence and the world around it. We have hearth, happiness in our hearts and homes. Yes, this is definitely about you acclaiming a more harmonious sense of home, especially with the Four of Wands in reverse. And home is where the heart is I pretty much everyone likes to say, but I think that's a very applicable motto for your particular group, I Collective. You seeing that home is simply wherever you are. Love is all of you. You embody love. You are love. And allowing yourself to build a community and a sense of belonging, whether it be within yourself or with someone around you, that is very much in homage to what you have experienced, but is completely reflective of who you are now. It respects the past, but is completely present, if that makes sense. Especially with the skull of light here, this is all about illumination. So this is enlightenment, so to speak, and seeing ways in which you are able to move forward, because whenever you have like a light in a lantern, or like even the hearth that's over here, utilizing the light that is you, realizing that you are the light, you are the love that you seek in the world, you are the empowerment and enlightenment that you are on a quest for. It already exists within you. You just have to dig deeper within yourself to unlock it a bit, and realize that the way in which your happiness will manifest once you release inner judgment accordingly, it might not be exactly what you are anticipating, or it might not look that way, I should say, but it is definitely going to be something that shifts your set of standards, and also your, I don't want to say expectation, but I feel like it might help kill that sense of attachment to expectation and ego as well, and allowing you to simply be for all that you are. Yes, death, the eternal cycle begins here. Well, a lot of death here. We have some Scorpios in here. Hi, I'm a Scorpio moon. So with the death card here, you have two death cards. Yeah, exactly. The eternal cycle begins here. This is your pivotal point to really see how to grow, die, and come back to life again. I think that's really what you're reflecting on right now, my I Collective, irregardless of what part of that loop and cycle you're in. I think that is the theme for you, and that you are truly examining where you stand within this cycle. But I think that you are in a much more heightened position than you give yourself credit for. Even if you do realize it, I feel like you allow that inner critic to hush that sense of knowing, if anything. So this is about hushing up the critic and seeing that, allowing that that judgmental attitude towards yourself to die is going to be so helpful in allowing compassion and love to grow. And now for your final oracle card, yes, you have Sakiel, which is the angel of sky present, and your bottom deck energy is Cater, the crown of spirituality. Yeah, this is actually came out for another group. I feel like everyone tapping into their intuitive world is really at the forefront with this big old Aquarius energy that we got going on. But with Sakiel here, I definitely feel that the sky is the limit, and that although you are very grounded by your simplicity and humility, I think that it is time for you to give yourself a bit of a boost and really just ascend towards your highest sense of self, and realizing that there is no judgment present, and the only sense of judgment that is present is that of your own. There is nothing gatekeeping your ascension aside from you. I love about this beautiful card is that first of all, this angel is fucking gorgeous. Second of all, you have like a symbolism of the sun in the back, which is all about oneness and understanding that you are the center of your own universe. And we have a lot of rings, so there's a lot of openness present and a lot of fluidity, but it all exists within the same entity. Realizing that you are some of your parts, and anything that you perceive to be like open and vulnerable always has room for another essence to flow through and become a part of you, and you always have the option to remove it accordingly. It does not have to attach itself to you. It is something that you are able to release at any given moment, especially with the spirituality card at the bottom, releasing that sense of attachment to your expectations, and really just not being afraid to move forward with an enlightened sense of compassion and understanding. I think that's what you are reclaiming. And you thinking outside the box includes you being very open with yourself and your internal world, and really changing the way in which you speak and think about yourself, and not allowing it to hold yourself down any longer, because there is so much more to the world that is ready for you, and it is now your time to explore it. So that is what I'm seeing for you, my beautiful I Collective. I hope this was helpful and insightful. I'm very happy for you, and I'm excited to see what it is that you are able to make for yourselves, and also the space that you hold for yourselves. I'm very excited to see you truly merge into all forms of who you were, are, and will be, and ascend accordingly. So do let me know down below in the comments if you have any questions or concerns about your reading, or if it resonates in any way. Feel free to share this video if you like, or give me a little subscribe if you feeling the kid. I am looking forward to speaking to all of you soon. Stay safe, and I will see you then. Bye!